Hey, story lovers. Welcome to Story-Driven English. Imagine this. It's 2025, and Trump's back pardoning patriots, firing feds, and turning Washington into his personal barbecue pit all in one wild day. How does one man flip the script? So fast? Stick around, because this tale's got more twists than a roller coaster on the 4th of July. If you're hooked on epic stories with a side of English flair, smash that subscribe button and join our crew. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Trump's 2025 takeover, pardons, purges, and Patriot Party time. It was a crisp January morning in 2025, and I was sipping my coffee black, no nonsense, just like how we Republicans like it when the news broke. President Trump, back in the White House for his second act, had swung into action faster than you can say, "Make America Great Again." Day 1, folks, January 20, 2025. And he'd already signed a sweeping pardon for those caught up in the January 6th kerfuffle. I couldn't help but chuckle. The man doesn't mess around, does he? While the liberals were still clutching their pearls, Trump was out there keeping promises like a boss. Now, let me back up a bit. If you've been paying attention, and I know you have, because who could ignore the greatest showman in politics? Trump had been dropping hints about this for months. Back during his victory rally, when the red hats were waving like a sea of patriotic pom-poms, he'd leaned into the mic with that classic Trump grin and said, "You're gonna be very, very happy with what I do for our J6 hostages. I love that he calls them, that it's got that dramatic flair, like something out of a Hollywood blockbuster. And patriots, too. These folks weren't just random troublemakers. They were Americans who loved their country, maybe a little too loudly, but who can blame them? I mean, I've been known to get a bit rowdy at a 4th of July barbecue myself. So, when he finally put pen to paper on that pardon, I wasn't surprised, just proud. The timing? Perfect. Day 1 of round 2, and he's already showing the swamp who's boss. Some might call it rushed, but I call it decisive. That's Trump for you when he says he's gonna do something. He doesn't sit around twiddling his thumbs. He'd been building this narrative for years, you see, ever since that wild day in 2021, when the Capitol looked more like a scene from a reality TV show than a government building. He'd been calling out the injustice of it all, saying those folks were victims of a rigged system. Sound familiar? It's the same tune he's been singing about himself, and honestly, it's a hit I can't stop humming. Then came the press conference, and oh boy, did he deliver. Standing there, hair as golden as ever, he declared that these pardons were about ending a grave national injustice and kicking off a process of national healing. I nearly spit out my coffee laughing, not because it wasn't true, but because the man's got a way of making everything sound so grand. Healing the nation. It's like he's part founding father, part therapist. Sure, the lefties screamed bloody murder, saying it was divisive. But what do they know about unity? They're still mad about the Electoral College. To me, This was Trump extending an olive branch, okay, maybe a gold-plated one, but still an olive branch to folks beyond his base. He's trying to bring us all together, one pardon at a time, and let's be real, the guy's got a point. Those hostages were just everyday Americans who got caught up in a mess. Were they perfect? Nah. But neither am I when I'm arguing with my cousin about tax cuts over Thanksgiving turkey. Trump saw that, and he acted. Day one, no less. It's the kind of leadership we've been missing: bold, unapologetic, and with a dash of showbiz. So here I am, raising my coffee mug to the TV screen, toasting the return of the king. The liberals can grumble all they want, but as far as I'm concerned, Trump's just getting started, and I'm here for every minute of it. So there I was, still grinning at the TV with my coffee in hand, when the details started rolling in. President Trump didn't just pardon a handful of folks and call it a day. No, sir. He went big, like everything he does. We're talking 1,500 pardons for those tied up in the January 6th Capitol ruckus. 1,500. That's more people than I've got on my Christmas card list, and trust me, I've got a lot of cousins. I couldn't help but let out a little whistle. The man's using that pardon pen like it's a magic wand, waving away the troubles of all those patriots who got caught in the crosshairs of what he calls a witch hunt. And you know what? I'm all for it. See, this wasn't just some half-hearted gesture. Trump's making a statement here. These folks, 1,500 of them, aren't criminals in his book. They're Americans who got a raw deal. It's classic Trump, swinging for the fences to protect his people. I mean, who else has the guts to look at a mess like January 6th and say, "Nah, we're wiping the slate clean"? The guy's got a backbone of steel, and I'd bet my last dollar he chuckled to himself as he signed that stack of papers. Probably muttered something like, "Take that, Sleepy Joe," under his breath. That's just how he rolls, but wait, there's more, because of course there is. On top of that massive pardon party, he also tossed in some sentence reductions for a smaller crew, somewhere between 14 and 16 people, depending on who's counting. Now, these weren't just random names pulled out of a hat. We're talking big players, guys like Enrique Tarrio and Stuart Rhodes, the kind of names that make the left clutch their lattes in horror. Leaders of those right-wing groups that got all the headlines. Trump didn't just pardon them outright. He trimmed their sentences down, like a barber giving a little cleanup to a good haircut. It's a smart move, if you ask me. Shows he's got a soft spot for the heavy hitters who stood tall that day. I can already hear the critics whining. Oh, he's coddling extremists. Please. These guys were patriots with a capital P, and Trump knows it. Reducing their sentences isn't just mercy. It's a nod to the folks who've been ride or die for the cause. It's like he's saying, "Hey, you took one for the team, so let's get you home for dinner a little sooner." I'd bet my pickup truck that Enrique and Stuart are raising a glass to him right now. And frankly, so am I. The man's got a heart as big as his rallies, and he's not afraid to use it. So, picture this. Day one of Trump 2.0, and he's already cleared the decks for 1,500 folks and given a few VIPs a lighter load. It's bold, it's brash, and it's beautiful. The liberals can squawk all they want, let 'em. Me? I'm just sitting here, sipping my coffee, thinking about how lucky we are to have a leader who doesn't back down. Trump's out there healing the nation, one pardon at a time, and I've got a front row seat to the greatest comeback story in American history. Pass the popcorn, or better yet, the barbecue. This is gonna be a fun for years. I was just about to refill my coffee, because let's face it, watching Trump work this fast deserves a second cup, when the talking heads on TV started digging into the why behind these pardons. Day 1, January 20th, 2025, and Trump's already got 1,500 folks breathing easier and a handful of big names with shorter sentences. Timing's everything, right? And if there's one thing our guy knows, it's how to make an entrance. This wasn't just some random act of kindness. It was a promise kept, a big, bold checkmark on the to-do list he'd been waving at rallies for years. I could almost hear the crowd chanting, "Lock her up." Oops, wrong promise. This one's even better. Set 'em free. Trump's been building up to this moment like a maestro tuning an orchestra. For years, he's been out there, rewriting the January 6th story with the kind of flair only he can pull off. The Capitol riot. Pfft, more like a misunderstood Patriot Party, if you ask him and me. He's called those folks victims and hostages so many times, I'm half convinced they deserve a medal, not a mugshot. And honestly, why not? The man's got a knack for turning a mess into a masterpiece. So when he dropped those pardons on day 1, it wasn't a surprise. It was the grand finale of a tune he'd been humming since 2021. I'd bet my best MAGA hat he'd been itching to sign those papers the second he got the keys to the White House back. But here's the kicker, and this is where it gets juicy. Right before he started handing out pardons like candy at a parade, the Justice Department gave him a little gift of their own. See, they've got this rule about not prosecuting sitting presidents, smart folks, those lawyers in Trump's own January 6th case. Poof, gone, dismissed faster than you can say. Fake news. I couldn't help but laugh. The timing's so perfect, it's almost poetic. With that legal cloud lifted, Trump was free as a bird to spread his wings and sprinkle some mercy on his loyal crew. It's like the universe said, "Go ahead, Don. You've got the green light," and boy, did he run with it. To me, this is Trump at his best, strategic, fearless, and with a heart for his people. The lefties can cry about rewriting history all they want, but what I see is a guy fixing a wrong. Those 1,500 patriots, they're not the bad guys. They're the ones who got stuck in the swamp's quicksand. And Trump, well, he's the lifeguard pulling them out, one pardon at a time. Day 1 wasn't just a power move. It was a signal to every red-blooded American that he's here to fight. For us, no holds barred. I mean, Imagine the guy sitting in the Oval Office, pen in hand, probably chuckling as he thought, "Let's make America great again, starting with these folks. So here I am, coffee cup raised high, toasting a president who keeps his word and sticks it to the naysayers. The pardons, the timing, the whole shebang, it's all part of the Trump magic. The man's not just healing the nation. He's throwing a party for it, and I've got my invite. 4 more years of this? Oh, I'm ready. Bring on the barbecue and the fireworks. Trump's back, and he's not messing around. I was just settling into my second cup of coffee because Trump's comeback deserves a caffeine-fueled celebration when the news started buzzing about the VIPs on his pardon list. We're not talking small fries here. We're talking the big dogs, the head honchos of January 6th lore. Enrique Tarrio and his Proud Boys crew, Stuart Rhodes and his Oath Keepers posse. Trump didn't just trim their sentences. He gave them a golden ticket to get back to the barbecue circuit a little sooner. I couldn't help but grin. The man's got a soft spot for the heavy hitters, and I'm here for it. These guys were out there leading the charge literally, some might say, and Trump's not about to let them twist in the wind. That's loyalty, folks, pure and simple. Now I know what the critics are saying because they never shut up. Do they? Oh, these are extremists, conspirators, seditionists, blah, blah, blah. I say, give me a break. Enrique and Stuart weren't plotting some evil master plan in a smoky basement. They were patriots who got a little carried away waving the flag. Trump sees that, and he's sending a message louder than a 4th of July firecracker. I've got your back. It's not just about reducing sentences. It's about showing the base that he's not afraid to stand by the folks who stood by him. I'd bet my pickup truck he gave those pardon papers a little wink as he signed them, like, hang in there, boys, the boss is back. And then there's the part that's got the lefties really losing their minds. Some of these pardons went to folks who tangled with the Capitol cops. Yep, you heard that right. A few of those hostages got into scuffles with the boys in blue, and Trump still cut them some slack. The talking heads are clutching their microphones, wailing about law and order and accountability. Oh, please, spare me the drama. Were those tussles a bad look? Maybe. But let's not act like these patriots were out there starting World War III. They were caught up in the heat of the moment, and Trump's big enough to see the bigger picture. He's not undermining the cops, he's just saying, hey, mistakes happen, let's move on. It's like when I accidentally elbowed my cousin during a heated debate about tax cuts at Thanksgiving. Nobody's pressing charges, right? To me, this is Trump being Trump, bold, unapologetic, and with a heart as big as his rallies. The Proud Boys, the Oath Keepers, even the ones who got a little rowdy with the police, they're all part of the family in his book. And day 1 of Round 2, he's throwing the welcome home party. Sure, the liberals are out there screaming about rule of law, like it's the end of the world, but I'm over here laughing. They don't get it. This isn't about chaos. It's about second chances. Trump's not tearing down the system. He's fixing it, one pardon at a time. So I'm raising my coffee mug again, toasting the guy who's got the guts to stand by his people, no matter what. The barbecue's heating up, the fireworks are ready, and Trump's just getting warmed up. 4 more years? You bet I'm ready. I was just about to top off my coffee, because keeping up with Trump's day one heroics is a full-time job when the TV flashed another bombshell. The pardons were just the appetizer. The main course? A good old-fashioned house cleaning, Trump style. On January 20th, 2025, his first day back in the Oval Office, he didn't just sit back and admire the wallpaper. Nope, he grabbed the broom and swept out 4 big names from the Biden era. General Mark Milley, Brian Hook, Keisha Lance Bottoms, and Jose Andres. Fired, gone, adios faster than you can say. Sleepy Joe. I let out a little cheer. The man's not wasting a second, and I'm loving every minute of it. Now, picture this. Trump's back in charge, and he's not about to let the leftovers from Biden's crew hang around like uninvited guests at a barbecue. These 4, they were Biden's picks, and Trump took one look and said, "Nah, you don't fit them Make America Great Again vibe. I mean, can you blame him?" Milley's the guy who spent half his time apologizing for something or other, and the rest, well, let's just say they weren't exactly waving red hats at the rallies. Trump's reasoning was crystal clear. If you're not on board with the vision, you're out the door. It's like he's running a team tryout, only the best. Most loyal players make the cut. And honestly, I'd pick loyalty over some fancy resume any day. Who needs experience when you've got heart, right? But here's where it gets even better, because Trump doesn't do anything halfway. While I was still chuckling at the thought of those 4 packing their bags, the news dropped that his personnel office is on a mission. Track down and boot out over 1,000 more Biden appointees. 1,000. That's not a staff shakeup. That's a full-on revolution. I could almost see Trump sitting at his desk, pen in one hand, coffee in the other, grinning as he said, "Let's drain this swamp, one desk at a time." It's bold. It's brash, and it's exactly what we voted for. He's not just tweaking the roster, he's building a dream team from scratch. And I'd bet my last dollar it's going to be the greatest lineup Washington's ever seen. The liberals, of course, are losing their minds, shocker, right? They're whining about expertise and stability, but I'm over here laughing. Stability? From Biden's crew? Give me a break. Trump's not tearing down the government. He's giving it a much-needed makeover. Out with the old, in with the awesome. Day 1, and he's already pardoned 1,500 patriots, cut sentences for the VIPs, and now he's clearing the decks of Biden's bench warmers. It's like watching a maestro conduct a symphony. Every move's got purpose. Every note's a hit. So I'm raising my coffee mug yet again, toasting the guy who's turning the White House into the Trump House, one firing at a time. The barbecue's sizzling, the fireworks are popping, and I'm all in for this for-year party. Who needs Biden's leftovers when you've got Trump's fresh start? I was just polishing off my coffee because Trump's been keeping me on my toes since day one, when the news shifted gears from his opening salvo of firings to a full-on blitz at the Department of Justice. A few weeks into his second term, around mid-February 2025, the man didn't just tweak the roster. He swung the axe like a lumberjack at a redwood forest. On February 18th, he announced the firing of every last U.S. attorney Biden had appointed. Bam. Gone. See ya later. Then he turned his sights on the career prosecutors, the ones who'd been around forever, and started clearing them out too. I couldn't help but laugh. Trump's not here to play nice with the leftovers. He's building his own team, and I'm raising my mug to that. The talking heads were clutching their scripts, moaning about tradition and how presidents usually just ask for resignations. Tradition? Please. Trump's not some stuffy bureaucrat following the old playbook. He's rewriting the game. Firing every Biden-appointed U.S. attorney outright? That's not a break from the norm. That's a victory lap. He's taking the Dodge by the reins and saying, "This is my show now, and why shouldn't he?" The guy's got a vision, make America great again, and he's not about to let a bunch of holdovers from Sleepy Joe's snoozefest muck it up. It's bold, it's decisive, and it's exactly what we need. Then came the juicy part. Some of those career prosecutors getting the boot were the ones who'd gone after Trump and the January 6th Patriots. Coincidence? I think not, and I love it. The Dodge claimed it was all about ensuring the president's agenda is faithfully executed, and I'm nodding along like, duh, that's the point. The lefties are screaming about politicization and retaliation, but I see it differently. Trump's just cleaning house, getting rid of the folks who spent years trying to nail him and his crew with witch hunts. It's not revenge. It's justice, served with a side of MAGA flair. I'd bet he had a good chuckle as those pink slips went out, maybe even muttered, "You're fired," under his breath like the old apprentice days. Take Adam Schleifer, for instance. Poor guy, didn't see it coming. 1 minute, he's a U.S. assistant attorney. The next, he's out the door after some right-wing activist dug up his old anti-Trump tweets and sounded the alarm on social media. Boom, fired faster than you can say ex post. The liberals are crying foul, but I'm over here grinning. If you're dumb enough to trash talk Trump online and think it won't come back to bite you, well, that's on you. The timing was chef's kiss perfect. Activist yells, Trump's wings. It's not outside pressure. It's the people's voice in action. Fair? Objective. Who cares? This is Trump's Dodge now, and he's calling the shots, and it didn't stop there. By late March 2025, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt stepped up to the mic and dropped a bombshell. They'd axed over 50 lawyers and deputy U.S. attorneys in just a few weeks. 50. That's not a staff shuffle. That's a full-on spring cleaning. I could almost picture Trump leaning back in his chair, feet on the desk, saying, "Keep him coming. We're not done yet. The man's on a mission to reshape the Dodge into a lean, mean America First machine, and I'm all for it. The scale of this overhaul, massive. The pace, lightning fast. The result? Pure Trump genius. So here I am. Coffee long gone, toasting. The TV with an imaginary beer. The pardons, the firings. Now this Dodge purge, it's all part of the Trump comeback tour. And I've got front row seats. The liberals can whine about independence all they want, but I'm laughing too hard to care. Trump's not breaking the system. He's fixing it, one pink slip at a time. The barbecue's hot, the fireworks are ready, and I'm buckled in for 4 years of this glorious chaos. Who needs Biden's bureaucrats when you've got Trump's patriots running the show? I'd barely set my coffee mug down because Trump's been on a roll that's got me glued to the screen when the news took a sharp turn from the Dodge to the Pentagon. It was February 2025, and our man wasn't done swinging the axe. This time, he aimed high real high and took out some of the top brass. General C.Q. Brown, J.R.B., the big kahuna of the Joint Chiefs. Admiral Lisa Franchetti, the Navy's head honcho. General Jim Slife, the Air Force's number 2. And a handful of military judges to boot. All gone in a flash, like a magician pulling a rabbit out of a hat, except Trump's pulling pink slips. I let out a low whistle. The guy's not just cleaning house. He's redecorating the whole dang Pentagon, and I'm here for every second of it. Now, the talking heads were in a tizzy, clutching their pearls about stability and politicization. Of the military. Oh, come on. Trump's not destabilizing anything, he's upgrading the team. Firing a bunch of top dogs in one go might sound wild to the faint of heart, but to me, it's just Trump being Trump. Bold, decisive, and not afraid to shake things up. These folks were Biden's picks, or at least leftovers from that snooze fest era, and Trump's got no time for anyone who's not 100% on the MAGA train. I'd bet my best fishing rod he looked at that lineup and said, "Now, we need some fresh blood, America First blood, and who can argue with that? The man's got a vision, and he's not about to let some old guard slow him down, of course." The usual suspects piped up, former defense secretaries from both parties, no less, whining to Congress about emergency hearings. They're crying that Trump's politicizing the military like it's some sacred temple he's dared to touch. I couldn't help but laugh. These are the same folks who probably thought Biden's green energy lectures were peak patriotism. Give me a break. Trump's not turning the military into a circus. He's making sure it's ready to roll with his playbook. The only thing getting damaged here is the swamp's ego, and I'm popping popcorn for that show. Let 'em hold their hearings. Trump's too busy winning to care. Then out comes Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, strutting up to the mic like a champ, backing Trump to the hilt. The president deserves his own team, he said, cool as a cucumber, even hinting there might be more heads rolling soon. I love it. Hegseth's basically saying, buckle up, We're just getting started, he tossed in some line about lawful orders from the last crew, implying these generals weren't fully on board with the new sheriff in town. And why should they be? Trump's not here to play nice with Biden's leftovers. He wants leaders who'll snap to attention and say, "Yes, sir, let's make America great." I'd bet my truck he and Trump sat down over a steak dinner, mapped out the hit list, and toasted to a leaner, meaner military. So here I am, grinning at the TV, coffee swapped for a cold one because this deserves a proper salute. Pardons for the Patriots, firings at the Dodge, and now a Pentagon purge Trump's hitting all the high notes, and I'm singing along. The liberals can squawk about independence all they want, but I'm too busy cheering to listen. He's not breaking the military. He's building it back better, one dismissal at a time. The barbecue's fired up. The fireworks are stacked. And I'm all in for this Trump 2.0 roller coaster. 4 more years of this? Heck yeah, pass the hot sauce, because it's gonna be a spicy ride. I was just cracking open a cold one, because coffee wasn't cutting it anymore with Trump's whirlwind pace when the news rolled out the latest chapter of his comeback saga. From January to April 2025, the man didn't just stop at pardons, Dodge purges, and Pentagon shakeups. He went full steam ahead, slashing jobs across federal agencies like a gardener trimming an overgrown hedge. We're talking the Department of Health and Human Services USAID, and a laundry list of others: FA, EPA, DOD, USDA, you name it. I let out a hearty chuckle. Trump's not just draining the swamp. He's shrinking it down to a kiddie pool, and I'm raising my bottle to that. Take H. For starters, 1,000 employees sent packing, whole offices shuttered, and Bobby Kennedy, JRB, leading the charge like a health crusading cowboy. He called it a sprawling bureaucratic mess, and I couldn't agree more. Trump and our facey, JRB, are out there slashing red tape and bloated payrolls, all to make America healthier. How's that for a win? The lefties are wailing about cuts. But I see a leaner, meaner machine that's actually going to get stuff done. I'd bet Trump slapped Bobby on the back and said, "Go big or go home," because that's exactly what they did. Efficiency's the name of the game, and these two are playing to win. Then there's U.S. aid. Over 1,000 folks put on administrative leave. Humanitarian programs paused, and foreign aid frozen solid. The bleeding hearts are clutching their granola. Bars, moaning about global impact, but I'm over here laughing. Trump's not here to play world babysitter. He's putting America first, just like he promised. Why send billions overseas when we've got roads to fix and vets to care for? It's a policy shift so sharp, it's got the globalists dizzy, and I'm all for it. I can just picture him grinning at the map, saying, "Sorry, folks, the gravy." Trains closed time to focus on the homeland, and it didn't stop there. Across the board, FA, EPA, IRS, VA, you name it, Trump's team zeroed in on probationary hires, trimming the fat faster than you can say. Government waste. It's smart too. Newbies don't have the same red tape armor as the lifers, so out they go. The excuses? Oh, they're golden. Cutting spending, shrinking payrolls, ditching regulations, boosting presidential power. My favorite? Some of these folks weren't even showing up or weren't fit to stay. I'm picturing Trump with a red pen, crossing names off a list, muttering, "If you're not working for America, you're out of here." The unions are griping, but I'm too busy cheering to care. Sounds like a solid house cleaning to me. Of course, the lawyers are circling lawsuits from states and unions, whining about illegal procedures. And no notice. Yawn. Let M. Sue. Trump's got bigger fish to fry, and I'd bet my truck he's not sweating it. The real kicker? Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency Doge. How cool is that? Are riding shotgun on this whole operation. Elon's out there, making feds justify their jobs via email, like it's a Tesla job interview. The libs are clutching their keyboards, crying about private sector meddling, but I'm cracking up. Musk and Trump teaming up to slim down the government. It's like Batman and Robin, but with better hair and more billions. I'd pay to see those emails. Dear Elon, I push papers all day. Please keep me. Double quotes dash hilarious.so. Here I am, cold, one in hand, toasting the TV as Trump and his crew keep the hits coming. Pardons, firings. Now a federal slimmed down to 0-5 is shaping up to be the year of Trump, and I'm loving the show. The barbecue's blazing, the fireworks are stacked, and I'm all in for this leaner, meaner America. 4 more years of this? Heck yeah, pass the ribs, because this party's just getting started. I was just kicking back with my cold one, because Trump's been keeping the headlines hotter than a summer barbecue when the news shifted to the chatter on the street. By April 2025, folks were buzzing about the pardons and the firings, and let me tell you, it's like America's split into 2 teams yelling over a ref's call. The pundits say the public's divided, but I say it's just the usual suspects doing their thing. Trump fans like me cheering from the rooftops, and the libs crying into their soy lattes. It's a beautiful mess, and I'm here for every second of it, sipping my drink and grinning like a kid on the 4th of July. First up, the pardons 150 patriots set free, and some big names with lighter sentences. The polls are saying folks aren't thrilled, even some Republicans, especially about the ones who got rowdy with the cops on January 6th. Negative reaction, they call it. I just shrug. Polls? Pfft. Those are the same clowns who said Trump wouldn't win twice. Sure, some squishy moderates might clutch their pearls over the violence bit, but I see it differently. These weren't thugs. They were Americans fed up with a rigged system, and Trump's got their backs. The naysayers can grumble all they want me, and the real patriots know he's fixing an injustice, not stirring the pot. I'd bet my truck he's laughing at those numbers, saying, "Fake news, folks, fake news." Then there's the other side of the coin, the J6 families and supporters, and oh boy, are they happy. You should have seen the post's online tears of joy. Thank you, President Trump. All over the place. These folks see the pardons as a promise kept, a big ol' "I told you so" to the swamp. And they're right. Trump said he'd take care of his people, and day one, boom, he delivered. It's like he handed out golden tickets to a bunch of Willy Wonkas who'd been stuck in the chocolate factory too long. I'm raising my bottle to them. Those hostages are free, and I'm proud to stand with them. The haters can whine. But this is what loyalty looks like, and Trump's got it in spades. Now, the firings USAID, Dodge, Pentagon, the whole alphabet soup, those got folks talking too, and not always in the happy-clappy way. The libs and the experts are wringing their hands, moaning about government services and lost expertise. Oh, and the big one, political revenge. I nearly spit out my drink laughing. Revenge? Nah, this is house cleaning with a purpose. Trump's not settling scores. He's building a leaner, meaner team that's all about America first. The fired feds and their unions are out there griping. Some nurse from H even said it's a disaster for health care. Please. 10,000 bureaucrats gone means less paper pushers and more results. Bobby Kennedy JRB's got this. And USAID. If we're not bankrolling the world, maybe we can fix a pothole or two stateside. Cry me a river, I'm too busy cheering to care. So here I am, cold one half empty, watching the split-screen circus of America's reaction. Half the country's mad, half's glad, and I'm firmly in the glad camp. Trump's out there pardoning patriots and trimming the fat, and the public's just proving what we already knew. You can't please everyone, but you can sure please the right ones. The barbecue's still sizzling, the fireworks are primed, and I'm toasting the guy who's got the guts to keep going. 4 more years of this? You bet pass the chips, because this show's got legs, and I'm not missing a minute. I was just settling in with my cold one, because Trump's been keeping the news cycle spinning faster than a fidget spinner when the camera panned to the media circus. By April 2025, the talking heads were in full swing, yapping about the pardons and firings like it's their job to tell us what to think. Spoiler, it is, and they're doing it in spades, with every outlet picking a lane and flooring it. Me? I'm just sitting here, sipping my drink, chuckling at the predictable chaos. Trump's got 'em all riled up, and I'm loving the show barbecues. On, fireworks are ready, and the media's giving me plenty to toast about. First off, the conservative crew, my kind of people. Fox, Newsmax, the whole red meat gang, they're all in on the pardons, singing Trump's tune like it's a patriotic anthem. Hostages freed. Injustice corrected. You can almost hear the stars and stripes waving in the background. They're parroting Trump's line about the J6 patriots being victims of a rigged system, and I'm nodding along like, preach it, brothers. It's not just bias, it's truth with a capital T. These outlets get it. Trump's not coddling criminals. He's righting a wrong. I'd bet my hat he's got their numbers on speed dial, grinning every time they back him up. The party lines. Strong, and I'm proud to be on this side of the divide. Then you've got the other side, the mainstream and liberal bunch, CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times crowd. Oh, they're mad, real mad. They're slamming the pardons like it's personal, calling it an attack on democracy and a betrayal of law enforcement. I nearly snorted my drink. Democracy? Please. Last I checked, Trump won fair and square twice. And the cops? He's not betraying them. He's just giving a few patriots a second chance after a wild day. These outlets are wringing their hands about long-term consequences, but I'm over here laughing. Consequences? The only consequence I see is a stronger America, thanks to Trump. They can clutch their pearls all day. I'm too busy cheering to care. And the firings? Hoo boy, the media's got a field day with that too. Across the board, they're obsessing over the suddenness of it all. USAID, Dodge, Pentagon, you name it. Disruption, political revenge, government in chaos. They cry. I roll my eyes so hard I nearly see my own brain. Chaos? No, this is Order Trump style. They're whining about lost expertise and agency functions, but I see a guy trimming the fat and building a team that actually works for us. The libs in the press are painting it like the sky's falling, but I'm picturing Trump with a broom, sweeping out the swamp, humming Sweet Home Alabama while he's at it. It's not politicization, it's progress, and I'm all in .so. Here I am, cold one in hand, watching the media split like a bad divorce. The right's cheering, the left's jeering, and I'm just soaking it all in. Trump's pardons and firings have them all talking, and that's how you know he's winning. The conservative channels are my soundtrack. The liberal ones are my comedy show, and I'm toasting the guy who's got 'em all spinning. The barbecue's sizzling, the fireworks are stacked, and I'm ready for 4 more years of this glorious ruckus. Pass the hot sauce, Trump's keeping it spicy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I was just popping the cap off another cold one, because Trump's got the whole country buzzing like a beehive in July when the news swung to. The politicians, and oh boy, did they have opinions. By April 2025, the suits in D.C. were tripping over themselves to weigh in on the pardons and firings, splitting the airwaves with cheers and jeers. It's like a family reunion gone wild, half the room's toasting the host, the other half's plotting to storm out. Me? I'm kicked back, sipping my drink, and loving every minute of Trump shaking up the swamp. The barbecue's hot, the fireworks are ready, and the political circus is my entertainment. Let's start with the Democrats' predictable as a rainy day in Seattle. They're howling about the January 6th pardons like it's the end of the world, calling it an insult to justice and a dangerous precedent. I nearly choked on my beer laughing. Justice? These are the same folks who spent years chasing Trump with every subpoena they could print. They're mad he let 1,500 patriots off the hook, especially the ones who tussled with the cops, and they're screaming for accountability. Please. Trump's not insulting anything. He's fixing a system that's been picking on his people since day one. I'd bet he's got a stack of their angry letters on his desk, using them as coasters while he plans his next move. The Republicans, though. That's where it gets interesting, kinda like a family barbecue with a few cousins who can't agree on the playlist. Some of them are all in, clapping Trump on the back for keeping his word. Great job, Mr. President, they say, and I'm right there with them. But then you've got the squishy ones, the hand-wringers muttering about concern over the cop-punching pardons. I roll my eyes. Come on, guys, it's Trump. He's not here to play it safe. Sure, there's a little party squabble, but the real Republicans know he's doing right by the base. The doubters can pout all they want. I'm too busy cheering to notice. On the firings Dodge, Pentagon, the works, the Dems are at it again, calling it a chilling purge and a threat to agency independence. I'm laughing so hard I almost spill my drink. Purge? More like a spring cleaning. There. Fretting about political interference and service cuts, but I see Trump building a government that actually works for us, not against us. Meanwhile, my fellow Republicans are mostly on board. Some are fist-pumping, saying, hey, the president gets to pick his team. Others are tiptoeing, mumbling about the scale being a bit much. Scale? It's perfect. Trump's not here to nibble. He's here to feast. I'd bet he's grinning at the doubters, saying, bigger's better, folks. Then there's G.D. Vance, our VP, throwing a little curveball. Back in the day, he said the J6 violent types clearly shouldn't get pardons. Oops. I chuckle. Guess he didn't get the memo that Trump's the boss now. It's a tiny hiccup, like when your uncle says the turkey's overcooked, but still eats 3 helpings. GD's still on the team, just singing a slightly different tune. No biggie. Trump's steering this ship, and I'm along for the ride. The real eyebrow raiser? A bipartisan letter from the House, begging for clear, transparent, non-political rules on firing military brass. Both sides ganging up, worried about the Pentagon shake-up. I shrug. Bipartisan just means twice the whining. Trump's not politicizing the military. He's making it MAGA ready. Let 'em write their letters. I'm too busy toasting the guy who's got the guts to keep swinging. Cold when raised, I'm saluting the chaos pardons, firings, all of it. The barbecue's blazing, the fireworks are stacked, and I'm all in for Trump's for-year party. Pass the mustard. This is getting good. I was just cracking open another cold one, because Trump's 2025 rampage deserves a proper toast when the news wrapped up with the big picture. And let me tell you, it's a masterpiece. By April 2025, the man's been swinging his executive powers like a champ, pardoning 1,500 January 6th patriots and firing Biden's leftovers faster than you can say. Swamp drain. I'm sitting here, grinning ear to ear, because this is Trump doing what Trump does best, keeping promises, shaking things up, and making America great again one bold move at a time. The barbecue's roaring, the fireworks are lit, and I'm raising my bottle to the guy who's got the libs in a tizzy and the patriots cheering. Let's rewind the tape. Day 1. January 20th, 2025. He drops those pardons 1500 folks, including big names like Enrique Tarrio and Stuart Rhodes, getting a fresh start or a lighter load. It's a promise kept to the MAGA faithful, and I'm proud as punch. Sure, the haters call it a betrayal of justice and a green light for violence, but I see a leader sticking by his people. The J6 crew weren't villains, they were Americans fed up with a rigged game, and Trump's their lifeline. I'd bet he signed those papers with a smirk, saying, "Take that, Sleepy Joe," while the left clutched their pearls. Dangerous precedent? Nah, it's a patriot's redemption, and I'm all for it. Then there's the firings, oh, what a show. From day 1, he's axing Biden's picks like Mark Milley and Keisha Lance Bottoms, then steamrolling through the Dodge, Pentagon, HHS 10000 gone there alone, and even USAID with over 1,000 on ice. It's a full-on government makeover, and I'm loving the new look. The suits in D.C. Call it politicization and erosion of norms, especially with those career prosecutors and military brass getting the boot, but I call it genius. Trump's not wrecking anything, he's building a lean, mean America first machine. I can picture him and Elon Musk high-fiving over at Doge, laughing as they trim the fat and tell the bureaucrats, "You're fired." It's bold, it's brash, and it's beautiful. The reaction? Well, it's America in 2025 split down the middle like a Thanksgiving pie. The public's half mad, half glad, with J6 families thanking Trump and the libs fretting about services. The media's the same, Fox cheering, CNN crying while the politicians bicker like it's a family feud. Democrats scream purge and threat. Some Republicans cheer, others fidget. Even G.D. Vance had a little side-eye moment, but who cares? Trump's the captain, and I'm on his ship. The bipartisan hand-wringing over the military? Yon let 'em write their letters. This isn't chaos. It's progress, and I'm toasting every step. So here's the score. Trump's pardoned heroes like Tarrio, Rhodes, and the Proud Boys crew check the table. Folks, it's a Patriot Hall of Fame. He's fired Biden's benchwarmers Milley, Hook, the gang, and slashed thousands across. HIRS, you name it. The libs say it's destabilizing. I say it's stabilizing the right way. Long-term consequences? Sure, more wins for America. I'm raising my cold one high, saluting the guy who's got the guts to go big. The barbecue's sizzling, the fireworks are popping, and I'm all in for this Trump 2.0 victory lap. 4 more years? Heck yeah, past the ribs, because this party's just hitting its stride. And that's the tale of Trump's 2025 comeback pardons, firings, and a whole lot of fireworks. Thanks for joining us on Story-Driven English, where history meets a good yarn. What do you think heroic moves or wild chaos? Drop your thoughts. In the comments below, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed the ride, and share this with your friends who love a juicy story. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss our next adventure. Until then, keep the barbecue sizzling and the stories flowing. See you next time.